Hello and welcome to Uniko's 12 Days of Christmas Inspiration and Giveaways Day 12. So we finally made it to the end, the final day of this festive series. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have and enjoyed looking at all the Uniko festive clear stamps and stencils. It's been fun looking back at stamps that have been previously released and giving them fresh inky love this season, and also having a closer look at the ones that were released this year in the mid-century modern range. Anyway, today I have chosen Pattern Building Christmas Tree, mainly because this is a set that when I'm at a show, people look at it and wonder what they can actually do with it, because it is just filled with these random patterns, and yeah, I think you need to see it to see what potential it has. Anyway, this is actually take 2 of video. I had actually nearly finished and got interrupted, but never mind. So this is what I was making. Here I've just stamped some of the images, patterns, and fussy cut them out and raised them up on foam adhesive, and others I have stamped flat on the card base. But then I also wanted to show you this one, which is a shaker card that I've made using this Christmas snowflake. It's like a folk Scandinavian style, and I've stamped it to create a frame, and then I've added acetate and foam adhesive to create a shaker card, embellished it with the winter foliage, holly, and the sentiment inside that you can just about see is from Christmas wishes. I have made a similar card before, and this one I made recently just to build up my Christmas stash really and show you, because I couldn't find the sample. I think it's on a board that I take to the shows. But that's just another fun way of using these stamps. And the patterns inside this set are quite versatile, that you could use them all year round. Yes, this one looks quite Christmassy in design, but you could stamp it in a non-festive colour to make it less festive. But you could use these, like the scalloped one here, to stamp a sentiment above. There's a lot you can do. It's got the hearts in and various images. So we'll make this card, this panel again. I haven't obviously pre-stamped anything like I had before, but I apologise because I am running behind today, and it's quite dark outside now. The nights are really drawing in, and so I've got my light on, my lovely light from Craft Lighting Official. I highly recommend them. Lovely company, lovely owners of the company. I met them this year at the Lincoln show, so I do apologise if there is a little bit of glare. I try to move my lights so it still lights up the working area, but it doesn't glare too much off like the acrylic blocks and things that I'm going to use. So here I've cut my card to 9.5 by 13 centimeters, and I've just roughly marked out the middle of my card, and I'm just going to draw a faint pencil line just so we can line up to build this Christmas tree. And what I'd done on here, so I'd alternated a little bit. So I am going to go ahead and stamp the heart in Poppy ink. I'm using my Concord 9th inks. Hopefully I won't have any stamping errors. I've had a few mishaps today. Everything has taken me twice as long, and cards haven't all come out how I'd originally planned. It has just been one of them days. So I do apologise if my stamping is a little bit off today, or I make some errors along the way. So hopefully you'll have seen the Uniko blogs, and if you signed up for Uniko's newsletter, you'll have seen that we have a new release today. Just a mini release with 3 products. We've got the 2 new background blocks, very geometric orientated, fabulous for masculine cards, but you can festive them up and you can floral them up as well, so very versatile. And then we have the Ink and Flip Snowflake stencil. So just a mini release for this last release of 2023. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. So I'm going to leave about a centimetre, and as I've already made this card once and I actually ran out of space a little bit, I am going to plan my space a little bit better this time, if I can find, there it is. This is the sort of plant pot for my tree. I had to actually trim this card. I'll show you. I'll just lay it over the top. I trimmed it slightly because I'd left a bigger gap at the top than I had at the bottom. So I trimmed it a little bit to even it up. So I trimmed it, but this time I'm going to plan it differently. Now where's my heart gone? It's stuck to that. See, it's one of them kind of days today. It really is. But it's all good fun. It's part of the crafting, isn't it? At the end of the day, I should have just kept the video before. My son isn't feeling too great, and he came in to show me something. Came home from school early, so I didn't want, but there you go. It's life, isn't it? I should have just kept it in, but never mind. Here I am now. I stopped, and as you can see, my stamping still is a little bit off, but this brown is still, it's quite a juicy brown. And sometimes my stamping slips a little bit when the ink pads are super juicy. Anyway, so I hope to come in over the weekend and do a little video, mainly having a look at the Ink and Flip Snowflake. It's the same concept as the star, but you sort of flip the stencil the opposite way. So instead of side to side like you do with the star, you actually do it from top to bottom. But it's always good to see things in action, and yeah, I'll hopefully pop in either tomorrow or Sunday on a live on Facebook, and I'll share the video here over on YouTube as well once I have done the live, having a look at the new release. So hopefully if I put the top and bottom, it'll help me plan my card a little bit better, and just space things out a little bit better. So it comes with various sizes of patterns and images that you can use, and obviously like a tree would, it goes small, you know, the branches are smaller at the top and then flares out the further you go down. So the images in the set are roughly planned like that, that you've got 3 toppers, the angel, the heart and the star, and then the next layers are sort of measured out. Some are roughly the same, like these two are roughly the same. There isn't a lot of difference between the length, but they still work nicely and give a nice Christmas tree effect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm stamping this like fern image with Clover ink. These are all the Concord and 9th inks. They're my current favourites. They sit right next to me. So I do apologise if I knock the camera. I usually have my head like right over where I'm stamping. But to be in view for the camera, my workspace is a little bit further up, so it makes stamping a little bit more awkward sometimes, but it's all good fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I have. I hope to have another series soon. Probably won't be quite as long, but I will be popping in. Now I'm getting more used to doing these videos on a weekly basis. I'll hopefully have some pre-done and share them as I go out around the weeks and as we enter 2024. So I will continue with videos here on YouTube. Now I am getting slightly better at them. As you can see, I don't edit them. It's how you find me. I think mainly it's the time to learn things, isn't it, sometimes? I wouldn't say I have loads of time to sit and learn something else, but I do know how to record a video and I've got a nice little setup now. So yeah, it'll just be me crafting here like I'm crafting live on Facebook. So some of the images are a little bit easier to trim out than others. So that is my idea of selecting these ones. It makes it a little bit easier to do certain ones. So hopefully you are signed up to the newsletter and you got alerted this morning when the release went live, and you'll have seen some of the news that was added along with the new release. Uniko's 12th birthday stamping retreat is now available to book, and I have a early bird discount offer with 10% off at the minute if you book early. There's plenty of, there isn't a limit on spaces at the minute. The room is quite large, so unless I get a massive influx of people, I might limit it slightly, but at the minute there is still plenty of space left. So that's been announced and available on the website. And then there's all the dates for the shows coming up early next year that I'm attending. And then unfortunately I have some not so great news. My manufacturer has announced they are increasing their prices again. For the last couple of increases, I haven't increased my stamp prices. It has been quite a number of years now since I last increased the prices to their current ones. But with all these challenging times, I just can't afford not to put them up slightly. So as of January the 8th, products will be going up slightly in price by 50 pence. So I have given you a little bit of a warning that if there is anything currently in stock on your wish list, order now at the current price. because I will be putting the prices up, and stencils will be going up by 25p as well, because my manufacture price for the stencils has gone up as well, unfortunately, but it's just the current times, isn't it? So yes, if there's anything that's currently in stock that is on your wish list, be sure to order it before January the 8th. And although the website will remain open, last posting is I believe it is the 22nd of December, but I think I have put down that my last posting day will be the 20th, I believe, just so I have a few days before Christmas to prepare, do all my Santa Clausing. But yeah, I check the blog or the newsletter. I believe I put it down as my last posting date will be Wednesday the 20th of December, and that will guarantee that anything you order in the UK will get there before Christmas. Obviously, international peeps, if you're ordering and you want it to be there before Christmas, it's best to order soon rather than later, because things do take a little bit longer there. Anyway, right, so I've stamped Merry Christmas. I'm just going to let this dry a little bit because you can see that it's a little bit wet, and I don't think I have my Ujima Flip heat gun plugged in today, so I'm just going to leave a little bit of space, and then here I've stamped the Christmas lights flat because they are a little bit more tricky to fussy cut out, so I'm going to leave a gap for that sentiment. Hopefully I leave a big enough space. Knowing my luck, I probably won't, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just cleaning my stamps off as I go. I spent some time today tidying the studio because it was an absolute bomb site, and I was running out of space. But yes, so we'll do the Christmas lights, and then at the end we'll go back in and we'll add the new 4 drops again. So these Christmas lights are a medium version of the ones that I used not last week, the week before, so week 10 I believe. So they're a medium version, but the bulbs on this string of lights are already stamped on, where the Background Builders Christmas 2018, you stamp the Christmas lights on yourself. This is the one that if you've seen samples where I have used these lights and the 2 doves are holding either end of the lights, it is this set that I have used. It's just the right size, and the doves are from the Peace on Earth, which was way back in week 1. It seems to have absolutely flown by these 12 weeks, but it's been good fun, definitely. So let's get to this week's giveaway. So this week I am going to give away a £25 e-gift certificate to a lucky winner, and all you need to do is make sure that you are subscribed to Uniko's YouTube channel here. Drop me a comment on this video, and it'd be lovely if you could, if you haven't already, which I know some of you will have already, is watch the previous weeks and drop a comment. and you will be entered to win a gift certificate of £25 to spend however you like in store, which is a nice prize. Well, or you can use it at a stamping show. If you are in the UK, you can use your gift certificates at shows as well, not just on the website. Just be sure to have the code with you so I can just double check on the website and tick it off. But yeah, so this one is obviously a lot easier. This is the snowflake. I have got a stencil called Christmas Folk Snowflake. So this design matches that stencil as well. I will do my best to get a few more stencil restocks before the new year if I can. It depends how busy my manufacturer. Well, I have a couple of people that manufacture my stencils, so it depends who's able to, if anyone is, before Christmas. But I will try to get some of the ones that have been out of stock for a while. If there is something stencil-wise that you're after and it is out of stock, drop me a message or a comment and I will do my best to get it back in before prices go up as well. Because I do appreciate your custom here at Uniko. So how are we all getting on with Christmas? Are we all prepared? I've made quite a few cards now. I've got quite a little stash. But I have the Christmas fair coming up next week, so I haven't actually posted any out yet, and I'm still adding to my stash. And whatever I don't sell, I'll be sending out. That is my idea anyway, if it works. There's my block. See, you clean up and then you can't find anything, where I work better in chaos, I think. And I'm just going to use, some of my inks are a little bit juicier than others, and when they are juicy, newer and fresher, I always just rub a pencil eraser over the stamp, just so the ink adheres a little bit and doesn't pool as much on the stamp. It doesn't always work, and if I know it's not going to work, I do use my Misty, my stamping tool. But this set is a little bit, you can do it in your stamping tool, but it takes a little bit longer to change everything in and out and line everything up, and sometimes it's just as quick to use a traditional acrylic block like I am here. And I have to say, doing this card again and redoing the video, my tree is a lot more even and spaced out on my panel, so no harm is done. So we're going to just trim the Merry Christmas out. I can see it's still a little bit wet, so I'll be careful because I've had quite a few smudges today on various things, and I actually I stamped a sentiment on one of my cards, and I'd stamped the sentiment and then I dropped my block right at the top of my card and got black ink all over it. So that card didn't come out how I had originally planned it. I had to rethink what I was going to do without having to start all over again. But there's usually a way around things, isn't there? Covering up these little errors, mishaps. Sometimes we get all the happy accidents, and then sometimes we get the little areas, but never mind, no harm done. And then we're going to put that one on foam adhesive as well. But before I do that, I'm just going to rub out the remainder of these pencil lines is now we have the majority there. It's I can roughly see where the middle is. I'm just being careful around the lights because they might smudge a little bit still. And I apologise because Jelly is now scratching at the door to come in because he can hear me. As you can see, it's one of them days. Everyone wants mummy. So we're going to just build up this tree. We'll just use foam adhesive, and you could go in and you could add some Nouveau drops or glitter or an embellishment inside the heart if you wanted to. There's so many creative options with this. You could emboss, stamp and emboss layers before adhering them, and I think there's a sample on the blog where it's the whole tree has been stamped and then embossed, so you get it flat. There's so many lovely options with this set. But I think it's another one of them sets that you need to see in action to see what you can actually do with it. And I love the set. I love all my sets, obviously. And I was thinking, I haven't really saved the best for last, but then it's hard as an owner, stamp designer, to actually have complete favourites. As you know, I do love mid-century modern, and that's probably one of my go-tos. But yeah, it's hard to play favourites, I think. Just see if I'm getting this centered right. If I'm not, never mind. It all adds to the creative flair. So I haven't done everything in a particular order with these videos. It really has been what's taken my fancy for that week and what's in stock, obviously. There is only, I have to say, there is only limited stock. So if you've been after this set, there is only limited stock of this set in at the moment. But I know I will not be getting any stamp restocks before the new year, as it's just we're just getting too close to Christmas, really. And I have to book my stamp restock slots in advance. So yeah. So there you go, there you have it. Now before we add in the Nouveau drops, I am going to adhere it to a base, which I'll have to trim because I used my last piece. So I'll just quickly grab my trimmer out here. I have this Tim Holtz one. It's a fairly new trimmer for me. I used to have a big A3 one, but it died on me. I had it 11 years, so it was the first one I bought when I started Uniko. And now I'm in my second video. I can't remember what I have told you and in this video and what I told you in the last video. Anyway, I won't rabble on too much. So I got this one, and I'm still learning it because obviously it's a US make and not everyone works in centimetre. It has got centimetres on, but it is still learning. You get used to things. Well, I do anyway. So I'm going to adhere this to my card base. And then I will add the Nouveau drops. And then my card will be finished. And hopefully I won't have rabbled on too much and you will have enjoyed this week's video and the series. So there was something else. Someone challenged me to use a set that isn't a Christmas set but make it Christmassy. So I might be here next week with a bonus video, some last minute Christmas cards using non-Christmas stamp sets. So that'll probably be my next video, because I haven't forgotten about this little challenge. But there was just festive sets I wanted to showcase during this series. And I'm just lining it up. So if you can, it's probably hard to see, but I'm lining the corners up as if I'd with the grid lines. It doesn't always work out, but it just helps it a little bit more even. I still just eyeball it. And there is my finished card, but we are going to add some Nouveau drops, and I have my usual colours. I have a lot more colours, but some of them are quite pale, so I don't always reach for them. But these are a fabulous way of just making them look like glass lights. So we have a pink here. I think this is one of the paler pinks. What colour? Watermelon Wonder this one is. And I've gone for very sort of rainbow colours here. I don't know about you, but these darker nights make me reach for rainbow colours, for bright lights, and just to add cheer, really. I mean, it's 4:30 and it is literally pitch black outside already. I feel sorry for our chickens. They're not getting much daylight at all at the minute, and we've had so much rain following the snow. It's been quite dreary. So it's nice to add lots of colour to my crafting to cheer myself up in these winter days. Not perfect drops, but I think these are something you can go back. If it goes a little bit flat, you could go back in once it's dry and add a little bit more. See, that one's gone the opposite and blobbed a bit too much on the top. So I have somewhere, I have my little trusty pokey tool, and I'm literally just gonna take, if I can without messing it up too much, a little bit off, and then just swirl it round so it domes a little bit better. I think I had a bit of an air bubble in that one. As you can see, here's just an example of crafting not going 100% how you want it to. And I'm finding if I don't put the lids on these every time, I forget, and then they sort of like block up and dry up a little bit in the tube. So I just get into the habit of screwing the lids on these, otherwise they can be a little bit temperamental and block up. I mean, they're easy-ish unblocked with like a pin or a needle. But it's just quicker, isn't it? Just sometimes just to put the lids back on as you go. So then when I get distracted by something, that I haven't left it out to dry and then have a faff on with cleaning the nozzles. And last colour. I didn't plan this, but it has worked out quite even. This turquoise one isn't playing as well as it normally does, But yeah, the pink, I usually use a slightly brighter pink, but it does match the honeysuckle quite well. And there is my Christmas tree. And then that was the shaker card as well, just another example of how to use pattern building Christmas tree. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. Apologies if I have waffled on a lot today. I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you enter the giveaway. I will be announcing the winners either next Friday, I think I put the 15th, so next Friday I will be announcing the winners. I will announce them in the bonus video of using non-Christmas, but I will also announce the winners on the blog and share links on social media. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. So you have a week to comment on the videos to be in the chance of winning. Make sure you're subscribed, tell your crafty friends, that would be great. And thank you again for joining me for this festive series, and I will see you all again soon.